Corvair repair day. I knew I had to start it showing the Corvair, but what we're doing here on this beautiful sunny day, where are we? Fort Stewart?
Hinesville, Georgia.
Hinesville, Georgia. We are in Georgia. This vehicle has recently been purchased from Savannah Classic Cars, and it's in mint perfect 100-point condition. Yeah, right, aren't they all? You buy from a dealer, and you never know what you're going to get. We're checking the spark plugs, and this one just felt soft in the threads, and I checked the plug when I removed it, and yep, some threads came out with it. So we decided, that's the purpose of this video, we decided to re-thread the hole and put a spark plug insert in. So my partner in crime here, and that's an old expression, he went to the auto parts store, he got a plug saver. I said, oh, I don't know, never used that type before. And it comes with a spark plug insert with little teeth on the bottom. And it comes with this tool. I think this is a staking tool where you stake the top thread so it shouldn't run down into the cylinder and jiggle around like a drop valve seat. Fix the thread, made in Australia, Taiwan, had to do it 1, 2, 3, done, yeah, sure. So we went to the auto parts store and I said, I don't know about that. And that's gotta drill the hole with a big 9/16 drill bit, which is over there somewhere, right there. So we got this OEM tools, and this is a copy of a Healy coil where you tap the hole bigger, removing a lot of aluminum, and you put these inserts in, which you drive down with a special tool, and when you turn this little piece of wire here, it makes the spring a bit smaller, it locks into place. You might want to use a little bit of Loctite right there. I said, I don't know, but leaving that tang, it may fall off into the spark plug hole, the combustion chamber. So I tried option number 3, which is right over here. And this is what I used on my Spyder about 10 years ago, on my 62 Spyder with a 64 motor. These are copies of time certs. Maybe it's a save time gizmo. And the time cert has a little lip on the very top, right there, so you can't run it down into the spark plug hole into the combustion chamber. And I also noticed that the time cert has, here's our plug saver. There's so many. Where'd he go? There's so many of these plug savers. Oop, that's the nipple for the compressed air. Oh, there it is. There's so many brands of these. There's Stanley's, makes a save a thread. There's the plug saver, OEM tools. I also noticed that the diameter of this was slightly thicker. So they give you a tap, which is spark plug sized here, and then it's larger, and you got to cut a ton of material away. So that's when I thought, well, maybe I'll get a drill bit, which happens to be a 9/16, which is what I used on my time cert, but I didn't feel comfortable drilling this man's head. I might want to drill your head, but maybe when we had a few too many. So I decided to go with the time cert, or the copy of the time cert, the OEMs from AutoZone, because it's a smaller diameter, and it's got the little, what would you call this? This raised area that prevents it from dropping down into the cylinder, because even though you could use some Loctite thread locker, I don't know how well it would hold in the heat of the combustion chamber. So, without pressing any improper buttons on this phone, I've got my tap, I've got it taped to my spark plug socket so I don't lose it down there, because I watched a guy do a Ford with, might have had a hemispherical combustion chamber with a tube that ran into the engine. The spark plug had a tube, and if you lose that inside, go get it out of there with a needle nose pliers. So you put grease on the flutes, and when you pull it out, that's what pulls out of there. Grease and chips. I've got a dirty brush and a clean brush. And if you watch Richard at Precision Transmission, he has a dirty bird that he hit the wall with. So it's a little tricky to do this. You've got to thread that in right dead center. And I think that when this car was purchased, even though it was running fine, I think that that spark plug was cross-threaded, because I've noticed on a lot of the Corvairs that I've worked on, or all of them, that spark plug goes right in the middle of that hole, and it looked like it was offset. So I'm going to take my ratchet. I've just cleaned my flutes. I'm going to run this down really carefully and cut a bit of material, maybe half a turn at the most. And when it gets tight, you stop, you back it out, and if it doesn't want to come back out, you stop, because you're breaking the chips that are in the flutes. And if you strip those threads that you just created, what's the point of making new threads and stripping them? Nope, there he goes. pop back out, because you are cutting new threads, and when you come back out, you're forcing the garbage and the flutes into your brand new threads. And I turned that, what, a quarter turn, third of a turn? What do we got there? We got all kinds of crap on the threads of this tapper. So I'm going to pause this for a minute. I'm going to do a few more operations, and we'll decide which is the best one to use. And I'm going to go with the time cert because it's the smallest diameter, and it gives me an opportunity, if it doesn't work, to use the bigger, thicker one for the next operation. Plug saver, save a thread, OEM tools, time certs, who knows? All Chinese Taiwan copies. Just a few minutes later, and I'm not doing any editing. I don't have time for editing. I've got too many Corvairs to fix. I got that one. That one's already fixed. Just got to put a muffler clamp on it. And that one is going somewhere else. Talk about it later. So I've been running this down a quarter turn, a third at the most. And you can see one more thread left to cut before I'm down to my new size. That bright ring